Deputy Cross Reacts. Let's get into this. Full transparency, I'm going to be talking about the Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf case. But before I do, I want to talk about where I stood last year before this case, before we had all the details of this case. So last year when it first came out, before we had video footage, which I have right now and I'm about to share with you guys and I'm going to walk through it, my belief was this boy was probably at a track meet. He went under a tent. Austin and his twin brother, I don't remember his name anyway, his twin brother, they're big boys. They probably were, flexing on Karmelo and these things. And they're white boys. He's a black boy under their tent. This was kind of my preconceived notion. Now, mind you, as you can see, I'm white. But if you don't know, I grew up with 6 biracial siblings, 3 black step siblings. So I have a very diverse outlook on things like this. I'm also have years of experience in law enforcement. So with that being said, this was my original take on it before I had all the evidence. Just my opinion. I put it out there. At that time, I felt that Karmelo Anthony was completely in the wrong how he handled it. But I did feel that he was probably getting bullied, pushed to that limit, probably backed into a corner and things like that. Again, I did not agree that he should have stabbed Austin Metcalf. But I felt that he, was probably being bullied and things like this. Now, I will tell you, as this case has played out, I've learned more things about it. I still believed there was no way that there was going to be a first-degree murder conviction. I thought it was absolutely crazy that the prosecutor charged first-degree murder. I thought more appropriate would be second-degree or manslaughter. But I thought that Karmelo Anthony would end up getting off on this case because they charged him with first-degree murder and he wasn't going to be found guilty on first-degree murder, and then they couldn't charge him with second-degree or manslaughter. That was my, based upon the amount of information we had, that was my beliefs. And I didn't, that was a completely unbiased. I didn't jump to there's a white kid killed, or there's a black boy none of that was relevant to me. It was just the facts that I had and that we all had. But now, the video footage has been released, and I'm grateful that they did this because it really changes the entire dynamic and totality of the circumstances. That's such an important term to understand when it comes to investigating, when it comes to looking at any case, is the totality of the circumstances. Because there's another kid that was bullied in a bathroom and he was white and he didn't get as much of a sentence. He still was charged, and society's trying to throw that around. I think his name's like Kyson or something like that. But the bullying had been going on for a long time. He was cornered in a bathroom and being beat up by multiple kids, and he ended up stabbing and killing one of them, and he got, I think, like 10 years or something like that. And a lot of race baiters are trying to make that a race thing. The white kid only got this, but the totality of the circumstances matters, and it has nothing to do with race with either case. It's the totality of the circumstances. That other kid was being bullied for a long time by this group of kids, was being beat up in a bathroom, backed into a corner, and again, he stabbed someone. Shouldn't have done that, killed him, shouldn't have brought a knife to school, all those things. Those are the similarities. Karmelo Anthony shouldn't have brought a knife, but let's break down what actually happened here. So let me get into it so you can quit listening to me talk. So here we go. So this here is the video footage of Austin Metcalf walking into, right here, this is Austin Metcalf walking into the track field. Mind you, Austin's not even with his twin brother right here. Look who Austin is with. 2 other black boys. He's with 2 black boys. He's not with, so the narrative of, these racist white boys, that completely, he's not even hanging out with his own brother. He's walking in with 2 black boys. So that completely debunks the mindset of he's this major racist and all that. So that aspect of it's completely out the window. He has chosen to hang out with two black boys instead of his white twin brother. So that completely eliminates that. Let's go. Here he is, walk in. Again, we'll get further into it. Now, here comes his brother. That's his brother with another kid, separated, of course. And they walk in here. Actually, no, jump forward. This now is Karmelo Anthony that we're seeing. This is when Karmelo Anthony walks in. The tent is already over. We'll get to that camera footage here in just a second. Karmelo Anthony's walking across the stands here. Clearly, it's not pouring down rain. That was the narrative that was told in the beginning, that it was pouring down rain. It was nobody's like running to get out of the rain. It's raining, but it's not pouring down rain, and he's trying to protect himself from the rain. So that narrative is obviously completely false. Carry on. And he's walked. Now the camera, this other camera, this is basically cuts these two cameras. And this is the tent, the one with the M on it there. That's the tent. He ends up getting under that tent. And you can see that tent over there. And we'll just kind of let it play out. Yep, that one right there. And we'll let it play out what happens here. There's a bit of a commotion. Nothing crazy. Nobody's backed into a corner. Yeah, you can't even really see anything serious go on. Now we'll zoom in here so we can watch it a little bit better. And Karmelo is sitting right. He's like, his back is to the bleachers, the top of the bleachers. So he has a perfectly fine escape route. And then Austin is inside the tent facing him. And again, it's kind of blurry, but you'll see what happens. And so again, not cornered, not bombarded. Austin stands up right there. Austin just now and we'll play that back, but Austin just now pushed him. I'm sure they were going back and forth. He wasn't surrounded by a bunch of people, cornered. He didn't have an escape route or anything like that. Austin pushes him. Should Austin push him? Probably not. Does that justify murdering someone? Absolutely not. And then the pushback, and then that's Karmelo running out. So Carmelo's already out. It was that easy for Karmelo to escape from the get-go. So the pushback was the stab. That's what that was. So literally completely unjustified. And then Karmelo takes off running. And then all these other kids realize what just happened. And Karmelo, of course, is taking off running. So let's watch that back real quick. Again, push, stab. Let's see it again. Push, stab. And he's gone. That's how quick. There was not a bullying situation. There was not a he's surrounded, he's cornered, he can't get out. This definitely was not self-defense. This just definitely was not. It does not, if someone pushes you, it does not justify you stabbing them. It just doesn't. I don't care what color you are. So we'll go ahead and let this play out while I talk. But from here, he takes off running to run away. He's ended up, some other people get him, and then he tries to, of course, we know at that point, he tries to flip the story at that point and say, oh, it was self-defense. I was protecting myself. And clearly we can see that it was not. So I will say, again, he runs away. Some other people further up end up, getting him and saying, hey, what in the world's going on? And then he tries to switch his story and, I was protecting myself, it's self-defense, yada, 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 all this silliness. But that being said, that's enough of that. That being said, justice has been served in this case. I mean, I feel bad that Carmelo's a 17-year-old boy, and he's going to be. He got 35 years, but reality is he'll probably be out when he's about 37. After parole, good time, all those things. But man, justice has 100% been served in this case. I mean, I feel bad that Austin lost his life. He's a 17-year-old boy who made a stupid decision, Karmelo Anthony. And does that mean he should lose his entire life? I mean, some would say yes, but I do feel like justice has been this has given me a lot of faith in the justice system. I feel like this justice has been served perfectly in this case, perfectly. And I know some, would say, oh, he should get life. He should get. He's a stupid kid. You step back, forget about that. Forget about the fact that, don't let your emotions get involved, and think about the fact that he's a stupid kid that made a horrible decision. And people do change, and sadly someone has lost their entire life for it. And about half of Carmelo's, he's gonna, not even half, a fourth, because he's already lived 17 years, he's gonna have to spend 17, 18, 19 years, something like that, in prison. And then he'll be able to get out and be younger than I am right now when he gets to go on and start a life, and hopefully he makes a great life out of that. Hopefully he doesn't play the victim, I was done so wrong, that card. Instead, he turns it into something great, and goes on to live a productive and meaningful life. But that being said, I fully support the justice system in this. I have completely changed my stance on it, and I'm proud of how it all played out. So that's what I got. Deputy Cross reacts, straight from the word of someone with years of experience as law enforcement, someone with 12 siblings, 6 of which are biracial, 3 of which are black, grew up in a predominantly black community and home, and until I ultimately ended up going into foster care. So I have years of personal knowledge and experience around things like this, and so again, I've changed where and I also know track and field very well because my family has always been involved in that. So with that being said, I have absolutely changed where my original stance was. I think that this case has played out exactly how it should have. That's what I got. Deputy Cross reacts. Thanks for listening and following. Have a great day. See ya. Bye.